Here's a complaint the KSL investigators hear a lot from Utah drivers. Why is it so hard to see the lane striping on our roads?
So tonight, our Matt Gephardt investigates the ever-evolving technology of our roadways. Matt?
Dave, Ashley, anytime it is dark or wet like it is tonight, those painted lane lines can be tough to see, right? So are road engineers doing enough about it? You ask. KSL investigates.
We caught up with this UDOT crew in Morgan County as they put down fresh paint on Highway 84. UDOT Station Supervisor Mark Sutton says it's time.
But like here, it needs an application, so we're going to hit everything.
Hit all those lines and hit it with a lot more than just the kind of paint you might find at the hardware store. This paint is laced with beads to make it easier for drivers to see.
And it doesn't all happen at once. The paint comes out of a gun, and the reflective beads fall right behind it.
Those beads stick in the paint.
Does that reflective stuff make much of a difference? Yes, it does.
The trouble, of course, is that it won't last. Wear and tear from cars, snowplows, and weather gets after the paint and those exposed 3D beads. And that fact can be downright treacherous, as you know firsthand if you've ever driven at night or in wet conditions. The KSL investigators regularly hear from Utah drivers complaining. It is impossible to see the lane dividers. The driver can hardly see. Could you please investigate why UDOT cannot use a paint that is visible to our state's drivers?
Why are people writing to us, and I assume to you, saying, why don't we have reflective paint?
I think part of it is understanding the process of painting and what happens with our roadway surfaces.
Robert Miles is the director of traffic and safety for UDOT, and he says for the most part, Utah uses the same reflective technology that's used in all the other states. It's technology that is imperfect.
Salt residue in winter operations, that those glass elements can become coated and lose a little bit of their retroreflectivity. Sometimes markings wear out.
Besides cleaning the roads, there's not much engineers can do when the lines get buried under salt and dirt, but they have come up with a solution for when they get buried underwater. This is a relatively new technology called wet reflective, as in reflective beads designed to actually perform better when they get wet. See for yourself. We took 2 samples of paint and put them under a thin sheen of water.
There we go, right there.
See how much brighter that strip on the left is? That's the wet reflective beads which UDOT says they are currently using on some of its roads. And you know, it's not just paint. In fact, the most traveled roads in Utah do not use paint at all. They are striped with lane tape. UDOT says that tape is also being made with the new wet reflective properties.
And once it's put underneath,
you can see it there on the left, submerged and more visible. Now, this is the current tech, but State Maintenance Engineer Kendall Draney notes that tech is evolving.
Going to be doing a test deck up in northern Utah.
This summer, UDOT is working with traffic engineers from all over the country. They will paint and tape a road with a smattering of brand new products, then they'll watch it for 3 years to see how it holds up.
And our hope is, from this test deck, that we'll find new products that will be better than our current products that we're using.
Better, as in easier for you to see while driving.
And you know, it's not just our eyes that rely on being able to see these lines. Think about self-driving cars. Coming up tomorrow night on KSL 5 News at 10, the investigation continues. What is being done to make sure that self-driving cars are able to see these lines okay? And I'll tell you this right now, it's a lot more than just paint and glass. We'll see you tomorrow night, guys. Live in Salt Lake City, Matt Gephardt, KSL 5 News.
All right, Matt, we'll see you then. Thank you.